Well, welcome to the Curbside Podcast presents Dice Hard with a Vengeance. I'm your host, Jay Kirby, joined as always by my lovely party.
Lovely.
We are in for an interesting night because I have no idea what the DM has up his sleeves. So, we'll start with the oath. I'll hand it over to him and we'll get this show on the road. I, Nerimos Torrin, do solemnly swear to not be a murder hobo. Lady V.
I, Vare, do solemnly swear to not be a murder hobo.
Natil.
I, Natil Starag, do solemnly swear to not be a murder hobo.
Corallos.
I, Corallos Abrazar, do solemnly swear to not be a murder hobo.
Beldan.
I, Beldan, swear to do what those guys said.
Tarook. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are, Tarook.
Some people would agree with you if they knew how to read.
Tarook, you're my favorite ogre.
Standoff.
I, Standoff, Trevik Wizard, Ting the Third, the Fourth, the Fifth, the Esquire, and the Junior, do solemnly swear that I am a murder hobo.
Wait a minute.
I'm not. I'm totally not. Disregard everything. I am not.
Oh, we were doing full list. That was the thing that was happening?
Mr. DM. Take it away.
Well, when we last left off, the party had infiltrated the estate of one Cephras holder, looking for answers in a confrontation, following a lead on the Rakshasa that has been haunting two of our party members' dreams and or nightmares, shall we say. And upon a brief interrogation of Cephras, you got a couple answers out of him and probably learned a little more than you cared to know. But after interrogating him and Corallos, figuring out the way into the Rakshasa's lair, you then proceeded and you found this open chamber with a door with what you've discovered is basically 6 keyholes and 6 different passageways. Putting one and one together, you have decided to start going through the passageways one by one, getting the keys to unlock the opening to the Rakshasa's lair. So, when we last left off, the party had just emerged out of the first doorway on the left, where it had encountered a bone pit and, more importantly, a bone golem. And you guys just came out of that passageway and placed the key that you found in one of the slots on the hexagonal door. That's where we're picking up. So.
All right.
Rest that and go to the next door, I guess? Is that what we were doing?
We're already out of the bone pit, right? We had already left.
Yeah, you've already left that one. And matter of fact, now that you've said it, you guys have come back to that circular shaped chamber with the 6 passageways and the hexagonal door at the end. The passageway that you just came out of that led to the bone pit has sealed behind you.
Okay,
All right.
so I guess we have nowhere to go but forward.
Did we want to rest first? Because I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm kind of beat up. Really bad.
Yeah, we should
Probably
definitely.
not a half bad idea.
Yeah, Standoff is over on the side, smoking from his pipe, going, "Long rest will be good for you."
Yeah, can we do a long rest? I don't see why not, unless you guys have an objection.
I have
Oh,
none.
yeah.
Why we shouldn't?
Entirely up to you
What
guys.
was that, Corallos?
I don't see why we shouldn't.
Yeah, we're gonna need all our energy, because if anything's like what we just faced in there, we're in trouble.
Where are we not?
Yeah, good point, Beldan.
So how long is a long rest? How long is that usually? What did we rule? That was at least how many hours?
Long rest.
I think it's 8 hours.
Yeah, it's a minimum of 8.
Okay. is that a thing we can do, guys, or what?
That's what you guys want to do.
Well,
Just-
I mean, and you're also there's
I
no
think so.
real
I mean,
definition of
just kinda
night
have to-
or daytime where you guys
Oh.
are at. You're in this closed off chamber.
So it's just a
And-
matter of for as long as we can.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Just staying alive.
completely up to you guys.
I mean,
You don't, and matter of fact, since you've done that, you really don't know. I mean, how time works here.
right.
So you have no indication of whether it's night or daytime, or
Yeah. So what, you guys long rest or?
Yeah.
Just because we don't know. I mean, like I don't know. You're pretty banged up. We don't know what's coming behind. The next.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I mean, if we don't have the time for it, I don't know. It's up to you guys, I guess.
I'm down to do a long rest to get you guys what you need.
Yeah.
I'm
Definitely down
Yeah.
for a long rest.
I'm fine.
all right. Seems like the consensus is for a long rest. So
So during that, I need to. Did you get my text, Tim?
have not.
First watch. Ah.
I'll take
Ah.
it. Watch.
Standoff doesn't need to sleep, by the way.
Oh,
Oh well, shoot.
crazy guys got it.
That sounds like a great idea. All right, so then I guess during the rest,
No, we should probably take turns with standoff.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll
I can
do
take-
first.
I could do second.
we could probably just for efficiency, we could probably do like 3 and 3 or like 3 and 4, whatever. You know what I mean? Like that way we have
Yeah.
more people up at once, so it's not all on 1 or 2 people.
That's a good idea.
Makes it a little safer. I'll do a first shift as well.
Okay.
While I'm on watch, I'm gonna take out some like little like compacts, little like very ornate compacts of powder and some lipstick tubes, some little vials of what look like nail polish, and I'm just gonna do some like mixing and changing the colors and testing the colors and whatnot.
So using your kit, can you please make me a ability check for that?
A 16, a 15, and a 14.
Okay.
And for the other check, a nat 20.
Torrin
And
just
which
like
one was the nat 24?
The performance check.
Okay.
Torrin just lifts his mangled up hand because he's all beaten up. V, not to judge, but is right now the best place to be messing with makeup?
It's relaxing, and you have your qualities. I have mine.
Fair enough. With that, literally Torrin just...
Torrin, is your arm okay?
It's just out.
Yeah, you.
He went. Okay.
Someone's gonna like kill him.
You're
while
answered with
Right.
snoring.
Okay, the dragon went night-night.
I got healed up pretty much to full health, so I think I'm gonna wait to sleep for a little while.
Okay. I really didn't take much damage, so I'm good.
Okay, well, everybody who's going to be on the first shift,
Yo.
go ahead and roll me perception checks, if you would.
Okay.
Okay.
My trusty dice out.
18.
19.
13.
Thanks, glow in the dark die. So its lights aren't off.
Wait, who's all on first shift?
Me, Nat, Beldan, and Standoff.
Okay, I'll rest. I'll take second shift.
Pretty much the most banged up guys sleep first. That way, if we get interrupted, you get your health as much as you
Right.
can. Hopefully, you get your health back, and the rest of us.
Yeah, I was low.
First shift goes by fairly uneventful. The eerie quiet of the chamber that you're in. There's nothing that disturbs you. Nothing.
Cool.
Nothing of import. Anything that you guys want to do? Anything?
Pretty much did what I needed to do. So
Actually,
Nat?
let me see here. Could I Never mind. I don't have that. Oh, never mind. That wouldn't work. Actually, if I wanted to cast an alarm spell, would that work down here in this realm of hell?
Well, you don't know where you are, so you can go ahead and find out.
All right. While we're sitting awake, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to cast Alarm.
Okay. I'm looking it up because you haven't casted it in a while.
Actually, I feel like I haven't cast this one before.
I think you did that when we were fighting.
I think this was back when we were in the castle.
Yeah, when we were still at the gala.
Yeah, you said alarm.
Yeah, the gala, yeah.
Yeah.
The elemental.
So how are you going to use it, Nat? Because you got no larger than a 20-foot cube as far as the area that you can use.
Gotcha. Could I possibly set it up like around the perimeter of the party, like depending on like? Whoa! Hi. Pity butt interference.
I can hear it.
But yeah, just kind of encapsulating our party, so that way. Like,
yeah, it's easy enough to do. So you set an alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Standoff. Inquisitive minds want to know, hundreds of years, how many traffic tickets have you actually given out?
Tickets? I haven't given any tickets. I've given thousands of citations.
Practice.
What was the craziest citation you've ever had to write out?
Well, there's this one time this one crazy lady drove a horse with a carriage through a door.
How much does Nat have to pay?
More than she's willing to offer.
Did the horse make it?
No, so that's even double the fine. On animal cruelty.
It's a fine for animal cruelty.
Well, she already had animal cruelty for, Torrin.
Oh my god! Oh,
trust me, I've heard through the vines of grape that she dropped the chandelier on some kind of dragon folk. So things aren't looking too good for her.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, there's a definite theme there.
You guys see Torrin start rolling around. No chandelier.
Shut up, Torrin. You're fine.
Yeah, chandelier.
I'm fine. Don't gaslight me.
I'm done.
Good night, guys.
Well, anything beyond that, like I said, first shift goes by uneventful.
That's all. I did what I needed to do.
All right. Well, if nobody's got anything else, as first shift comes to a close, comes ready for second shift.
Oh, does anyone know mending?
Yeah.
You
What do you
do?
need?
A little bit.
Fix my dress.
Okay.
I'm wearing the Omni dress and it has several arrow holes and horse cart incident related
Injuries.
And I'm pretty sure it's not...
Omnipotence, will you allow the mending?
Yeah.
Yeah, the dress. Yeah. Okay.
It's just for common adventurer wear and tear is what I'll say. So yes, mend
So
will
go
work.
ahead and we mend your dress. There you go.
So yeah, we'll say that during that time where you're talking to Standoff, you guys you're also mending very.
It's like I wish I would have made it. Should have made something a little sturdier. I'll keep that in mind if there's a next time. We make it out of here.
Who could have possibly foreseen this? Not me.
All right. So second shift.
With that, Torrin wakes up. Red caps.
Not those little freaks again.
All right, I think I'm okay. Hi, guys. Was I snoring?
Are you sure you're okay?
haven't slept like that in ever.
Kind of like in that moment, you feel Isla kind of stirs up and goes, "Commitment!" And she's just kind of looking at you guys.
I didn't even hear anything.
Brock should also propose to her in the nightmare. That was the nightmare.
You don't know.
Okay, like, unfortunately, like, my computer just completely cut out of all that.
Your sister screamed commitment as she woke up.
Just want to sneak up behind Torrin and yell chandelier. No, never.
Isla, are you okay over there?
Yes, why wouldn't I be?
Commitment.
You just... Never mind. I'll tell you about it later.
I don't want to wake Corallos up,
but
I'm afraid.
Just poke him.
Poke Corallos.
I just take my long
Hey,
fingernail.
buddy, hey.
I love how we treat the warlock like he's radioactive.
Right? Like what?
Listen, we've been close to this whole time. Why do we get chain devil?
A prodding sensation on your shoulder, just nah.
Corallo.
Away and get up. Yeah.
Hey, he's awake.
There we
What's
go.
up, buddy?
Hey.
Wow. Actually, where are the boots? Who has the boots?
I don't think any of us got the boots.
You did grab the rod and the furry boots.
Fur boots, right?
Oh, I did. Oh, we did grab the boots.
I don't know who has them.
Oh, that's right. The boots all go great with my apple-bottom jeans.
Yes.
Are they in the back?
Standoff has them.
I didn't grab. I weren't given to me, so no. I don't know who has the bag or who has the boots.
Standoff has the boots.
Cool.
Standoff
Yeah,
has the
got 'em.
boots. Oh, thank you, Standoff.
Yep.
Good move.
Best identify on those boots.
Okay. Well, first thing, and I told you guys this out of game, so in game, the rod is an immovable rod, so you can add that to your inventory. You guys, I'm sure, are fairly aware of what that does. If you need the stats for it, I can send it to you. The boots, I will send a picture to you guys of. These boots give you resistance to cold damage. You ignore difficult terrain created by ice and snow. And you can tolerate temperatures as low as -50 degrees Fahrenheit without any additional protection. If you wear heavy clothes, like, some actual, like, winter clothes or whatever, these boots can help you withstand -100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
These are boots of Winterland.
I like it.
Well,
while I do
Standoff.
that, yeah, go ahead.
Standoff looks them over after, figuring that kind of stuff out. Does anybody say that? Like, is that just something that someone would actually be able to explain to us, or
What, the rod?
Corallos
no,
would
the
voice
boots.
it since he's casting.
That's up to you, Corallos. Do you relay all that to everybody?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Standoff holds them up and kind of looks them over. They would make me look great, at least from the backside. But I'm not a fan of the cold, and I try and stay away from that stuff. Torrin, you're
Yes.
reptilian of nature.
Yes.
And
Kind of.
I think aren't you cold-blooded yourself?
Extremely, yes.
Extremely.
Please. The cold will make you slow. I think these boots may help.
Very well. Thank you, Standoff. Plop them on my...
And by the way, once you put them on, do a little spin.
You have to do the spin, otherwise they don't work.
You have to do spin.
Spin on the catwalk.
Torrin walks across the chamber, turns around.
Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, yes. There it is.
Shake that sexy dragon tail.
You're enjoying this way too much, Nat.
Omnipotence just asked for a dexterity saving throw, by the way.
Yep.
From all of us, or from from him?
Just for Torrin.
That's a 14.
14.
Hey, not terrible.
As you are displaying the new furry boots, unbeknownst to you, there's a crackling about 10 to 15 feet above your head as an armored figure starts falling from the sky. Ah! Boom! as Metagast falls right on top of you.
Ah!
Oh,
Ow!
I pick Metagas up. I'll go pick him up.
Taking-
Metagas! What are you doing here?
sweet man, why are
Go
you?
here, stand him up.
3 points of bludgeoning damage from the armored
Oh, sword.
skeleton.
You need help? No? Oh, alright. You're good. Come here, Metagas. You're alright.
I go over and help Torrin up. You okay?
I'm okay. Not
Yeah,
as
Jared's actually a little concerned.
not as bad
Is Teodara okay? Did you just leave her?
She didn't appear with him. He
No,
just
I'm
appeared.
asking Metagas like you.
Oh, yeah, no, as he's kind of dusting himself off and kind of rewriting the armor, kind of adjusting, and he goes, yeah, funny story about that. She's gone. And he has a knife in his neck.
What, huh?
Huh?
What?
Sephrus?
You what?
I mean, it's not like you'd be much use to us anyways. Let's
Well,
be
I mean, I thought she was unconscious.
Did you
So
fall
I got bored and started looking around for anything that might help. And next thing I know, he's dead and she's very
Gone.
acrobatically jumping over me and leaving.
Yeah, that sounds like Teodara. She's pretty capable.
Sounds like she took some lessons from you, V.
And you decided to come here after?
Yep, pretty much. Wasn't quite sure what to do. I knew leaving wasn't a good idea, so
Can someone send a message to the madam from here? Is that
No.
are we out of range?
Oh wait, we don't know where we are, so
That's
how
a
will we know?
that's a weird one. Hold on, that's like
I'm pretty
the
sure,
weirdest
depending on where we
of-
are, it works across planes. So if we're still, sorry,
If
check the Beldan because I know it's your
Oh.
spell.
I was gonna
Go ahead.
say, yeah, Belden, can
Yeah,
you
Give me
can
the
you spell
details
work
on that if you would.
from where
I
we
need
are?
to.
Because I would assume that she's going back to the light, and I would like to prep the madam for her coming back.
She might be a little jumpy.
Yeah, and it would be great.
Ooh.
If,
Okay, we can send a message to the madam. 1, that's gonna take a level 3 spell slot from me.
yeah, I guess
2,
it's not that worth it.
there is a 5% chance that it won't show up.
Ugh. I guess it's not really a concern. Like, I don't see it. Yeah, I guess it's not that important. I would hate for her to be targeted by the Rakshasa because she saw what happened there, so I mean, she might have information that we could use, so it would behoove the madam to find her and keep her safe. But I don't know if it's that important of a thing to, you know, risk a spell a 3rd level on, a spell that powerful on. But I worry about Teodara not making it back to the light when she could have very useful information that we need.
It's true.
So I don't even know if the madam could do anything. I don't even know if Philomena would be able to really do anything to help her and like find her or whatever, but at least letting the madam know to keep an eye out for her, that she is alive. It might behoove us to let the madam know that. I don't know if it's worth the risk of a spell that powerful, but it could be. So it's up to you guys, but personally, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to waste it,
Wait,
but
wait,
it's also
hold
kind
on.
of important.
I got a question. So the other guys just woke up, so we haven't taken our rest yet, right?
They all woke up, so yeah, it's our turn.
So we're
Oh,
getting our so we're getting our long rest too?
assuming that
hopefully we do.
the whole
Yes.
thing.
Well,
In
I mean,
theory, yes.
Yeah, it's worth the risk if you
worth
guys
the
think
risk.
so. I think it might be.
All right.
Keeping Teodara as safe as we possibly can might be. I mean, or maybe trying to send a message out of this weird dimension will alert the Rakshasa that we're here if he doesn't know already. So that could be a bad idea too. I'm just spitballing here. I don't want to make any stupid decisions.
honestly, I don't The only thing I can think of, if we send a message to the madam, is let her know what is going on, as far as what, like, the very base of it. We're in another dimension.
At the very
That's
least, tell her that Zephyrus is the or the Chamberlain is the Rakshasa.
That's it.
And now he's dead.
God, yeah, we need to tell her that, like, now. I didn't even think about that.
Chamberlain is not dead, right? Chamberlain's alive
Chamberlain's
still.
not
He's a
dead.
Rakshasa.
Cameron's
Severus was like a council member.
Zephyrus was
Okay. I'm getting all my royalties confused.
Grain of
Severus
salt.
is dead. Chamberlain, Rakshasa.
Grain of salt, the crazy murderer told us that, but I mean, that being...
In other dimension.
Right, so...
Be back soon.
Alright.
We have
How
20.
many words was that?
You're writing
Well-
this out. Let's think about this.
Yeah, we need to write this. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Omnipotence. I got it right. I'm sorry.
No. Do what you gotta do. Because there's also that thing about we gotta roll a percentage die to see if this even makes it through.
Yeah. So...
That is
But
true.
we won't know if it makes it through or not.
No, but I will.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, because she can answer in kind immediately, so we would know because she'd be able to
Correct.
answer.
Can she?
Correct.
Yeah.
I thought that was the cantrip spell. No? That's
Nope.
true.
She can answer. How do you guys want to do that? One person pick what you want to say. Let me know so I can transcribe it. Then I can repeat it. Well,
Here, I'll
do you
text-
want me to repeat it back to you, or you good with just getting it for one person there, Omnipotence?
I'll text you.
Tell her Tarook says hi.
No.
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 Work
have
it
been
out
voted off the
yourself and
island.
just let me know when you
You guys are no fun.
Okay. I think I'm getting
Farouk,
That
don't
way
make me
it's
get the
fair.
spray
I'm getting
bottle.
the text here.
Yeah, that way.
We keep it
Because it's funny
on
to
the
mess
board.
with you with this spell, but also.
Oh, I know,
just
and
for
I
the sake
kind of
time.
hate the spell. Hate it.
Okay. Okay. There's an editor from Zephyrus' manor.
While they're doing that, Torrin, you do hear will feel a kind of a tapping from behind you as Metagas is like, oh, sorry about that. I didn't know I would end up in the air when I touched that thing.
It's alright, Metagast. No hard feelings.
Does she know who it's... Oh, she hears it in your voice, doesn't she?
I mean, I guess it would matter for that.
I mean,
I
you've
don't
sent
know.
one to her before.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
she
so
kind of
she would know
would
you,
get
yeah.
it.
Oh gosh, you probably tell her where we are. Do we even know where we are? Or are we just assuming
No.
we're in
You
hell?
don't know where you are.
We're just in another somewhere. We have no idea. Its lair. Let's get that. Let's get that word count.
What was the... How do you spell the Chamberlain's name? Is it Regius or Regus?
Regus.
Okay.
R-E-G-U-S.
US.
Okay.
Was this sending or message? I always get that mixed up. Which one is it that you have, Beldan?
It's sending.
Sending.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Here's the message.
In the meantime, while we have like 2 seconds, I just want to give a little bit of a shout out. If that's okay.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my brother Caleb,
Woo.
aka Onion. What's up, my dude? Thanks for tuning in.
Onion. I like that.
He's standoff's like in D&D. He's standoff's like counterpart.
Ah.
Okay. I'm sending that to you, Belden. Add whatever you want because it is a couple words short, but that's the best I could do. That's
No, it's
what I
up to
figured-
25, so.
That's what I figured all the important stuff was.
$24.
Woo!
I'll take it.
Nice.
Perfect.
Nice.
Alright, so
How's pray goes through?
go ahead and going to cast sending.
All right. What do you say?
Okay. So starting after this. The Chamberlain Regus is the Rakshasa. Teodara is in danger, fleeing Zephyrus' manor. We are lost in the Rakshasa's lair, fighting our way out.
Okay. I am gonna roll to see if it makes it through.
Please, for the love of God.
Oh, please.
Love of Bahamut.
Just let it be over 5%. Is that how that works?
Uh-oh.
Either very good or very bad.
I'm taking a picture of it.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Watch it be like 4, it'd be like crap.
I don't like that.
That is, that's a number.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
That's,
no. Oh yeah.
I'm sending it to the chat just because I want you guys to see it. You don't hear anything.
Oh. Hey guys, I don't think that.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Don't think that made it
for
through, guys.
Balls sake.
Well, it was worth a try.
No.
Yeah.
No. That is.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's wild.
I'm not. I don't fudge numbers.
Hey,
Just so
man,
you
we
guys
believe
No, you
you.
don't.
That's wild though.
That's literally
Wow.
like the lowest odds to get, but oh my god, I'm so happy for you because that's
Yeah.
just like one of the rarest things to get.
You know what?
That's
Out of all the
crazy.
times that we've got you, yeah, okay, we deserve
Hey,
this.
I was
one.
gonna say.
We deserve this.
Yeah,
You
this
don't-
one.
You don't have a response. There's nothing.
I let
Nope.
everybody's like, hey, I don't think that one made it through, guys. I don't think we can reach her.
No, we can try again if we make it out alive of the next chamber.
You're right. You can, keep attempting to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it
It's
burns.
not. Yeah. So.
It burns the third level every time you do it, but you can maybe periodically.
So,
That's up to
I
you
mean-
guys. But
Yeah.
I got
there's no way that I could, it's a very
Can't
high
wait
chance
for ya.
that it'll
I got
usually
2
go
left. You guys want to keep going? You guys want to keep? You guys
through.
want
Yeah,
to
if you
roll
want
that?
to try it again, I mean, I'll just say you send the same exact message and I'll re-roll again.
You guys
That's up
down?
to you.
I mean, he's
You
got
wanna
the
burn
spell
'em.
slots for it, and we're about to rest. So let's just pray we get the full rest and we can get those back.
Okay.
True.
Yeah.
Go
Sure.
for it.
Send it.
Yeah. 54. You're good.
Nice.
It takes a minute.
Like long distance in the old days.
Oh, then just-
Yeah,
just
we-
hear-
yeah.
Do I hear the beep? The beep beep?
Belden hears his ears.
Number you have dialed is no longer in service.
Just hit my head.
No. It takes a minute, but you do hear, okay, darling. Understood. What you tell me about Tidara is disconcerting, but understood. And that's it.
She got it, guys. She got it. She understands.
Okay, good.
That's good news.
Did Belden relay what exactly she said?
Yeah, I'm gonna relay everything she said. I mean, there's nothing
Okay.
to hide there.
Why did
There
she
you go.
find? Why did she find the thing about Teodara the most disturbing, and not the fact that Regus is a Rakshasa?
If she wanted help, she would have hung out, not ran off, maybe.
Also because she probably expected us to find wherever the hell we're in, whether on purpose or on accident.
Her
Shady,
tone,
shady.
her tone was surprised, but yeah, it was kind of just a short little. That you gave her a lot to process.
Yeah,
and just,
yeah.
Okay.
That tends to
words.
happen on these long distance calls.
yeah.
And now I have a headache. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So. But message received. Now that we've
Very well.
done that, second shift is up. So, everybody on second shift, please give me some perception checks. And I'll roll one for, actually 2 for Nat
18.
and for Mitigas. Or Isla and Mitigas.
I've got a dirty 20.
Nice.
Dirty.
I got a 3.
Oh, no.
That's a dirty 20.
All right.
Ooh.
It's an empty chamber, guys. There's
Well, that's better than a.
You're the only thing that's alive in this particular area right now. Nothing, like I said, when you guys went through that one passageway, it closed behind you. It's stoned. It's just stone now. That passageway that was before is now solid rock. And other than Metagast bamfing in and crashing, Nothing else has happened. All uneventful. While you guys are up, is there anything that you would wish to do?
Yeah, V does her makeup.
As you do.
Standoff is just gonna
Torrin's
stand
just
up.
like, whatever.
Bear shoots you like a say something look. Like
Torrin's just still confused. He's like, okay, whatever.
Beldan is sawing logs. Give me twitching a little bit.
you're twitching a little bit.
With like
Give her some rear rest? Yeah, it's a little
with like
nighttime
a
twitch.
tiny little pat. May you dream
Restless
of
leg syndrome. There you go.
May you dream of large elven women, my friend.
May your dreams be merciful.
Standoff is just gonna sit there smoking his pipe, staring at Metagast.
Metagast kind of just awkwardly paces around. I mean, he doesn't sleep, so he kind of takes a look
Is it
at the
a dance party?
passageways, the honeycomb door. So, yeah, no, in case you guys didn't hear me, now Metagast just kind of paces around, checks out the honeycomb door. He just kind of, he doesn't sleep. So, Isla actually, Isla does a bit of a little makeup job of her own, except it's not nearly what to V's degree. It's just like smoked out eyes, more not exactly, just
trying to look human
Like what an
and
ass
make
would
a
do would
little
keep
more
the brightness out of her eyes, essentially.
yeah, it's more for function and almost like very similar to like a war paint, less of a smoky eye thing, you know.
You know what? V is going to attempt, because again, this isn't her thing, but like, I'm going to use the enemy dress and I'm going to attempt to make like as functional an outfit as I possibly can, like kind of looking at their, like what they wear and doing something similar with like thick velvet, like thick black velvet, like trousers and like a long high collared top with like a little drapey thing around the waist that kind of hangs down. Something that's still pretty, but a little more functional. Trying to do that, maybe.
Easy enough.
Just for the hell of it.
Easy enough, Sailor Moon. You just think about it, and,
and then for the hair, I think
your dress responds. Your decorum responds to what you want it to be.
war bun.
War bun.
War bun.
War bun.
Just make the hair up. Just war bun. Just back there, out of the way, can't get grabbed. War bun.
She does like a really full. Still, like, it's still one of those, like, there's obviously a lot of, like, pretty overfunction, you know what I mean? But, like, there's still some function there, like, little curly wisps and stuff, but, like, one of those, like, big, thick, all-head braids that go down. Like, she's trying. This is not her thing, but she's trying.
Yeah, it's you got to think of it like V's approximation of what
V thinks practical would be.
Adventurer V should look like, you know?
Adventure.
Just kind of, like, looking at the girls and just kind of being like, I guess I could do.
Right, yeah.
I guess I could do it if I tried.
If I try. Do you want to kill some monsters?
Yes, I do.
I'm scared out of my
I think
mind.
some murder is overdue.
Do you want to gather treasure?
I'm
This
very
is the life for you. You know what? We're writing this down tomorrow too.
Yes.
You can do a lot with this.
Please don't let me die.
All right.
Ugh.
I love you guys. I want you to know that.
Torrin walks over, almost judgmental again. Just puts out a fist, like he knows you're trying, and he's giving you respect for it.
Oh, she covers.
I wish I was awake for this.
Beautiful.
Doesn't say anything. Just.
I did good.
Standoff just smoking his
Isla
pipe.
just kind of nods, just like goes back to kind of fiddling with her bow.
All right, is everyone rested up?
Unless there's anything else you guys want to do, we will end the second shift. Okay.
Torrin, did you put those boots on yet?
I have, and they're quite quite comfy.
Okay. You got it, but just to give you a reminder on what it does, you are now resistant to cold damage, and you ignore difficult terrain that's caused by ice or snow. And you can withstand some very extreme cold temperatures.
And yeah. From looking at the stats of it, I think the base is without heavy weather gear is -50.
Yep.
And I mean,
Yep.
I've been in -50, and that's just your
Cold.
eyeballs start freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
I'm a giant reptile.
those are
Yeah.
some extreme.
Cold and I don't get along.
well, guess what? Next year you can fight Krampus by yourself.
Oh
If
yeah,
you
the
want-
snow would have been great for the Krampus fight.
If he wants round 2, he can get it.
Krampus don't want no round
All right,
two.
this time I won't hold your hand. Then you got him this time. You got him.
I wasn't even there last time. Belden smoke checked him before I got in the door. All right.
Bring me the fuzzy Christmas demon.
Bring me
All
the
right,
head of Krampus.
I'm gonna say you still don't know time of day at all, but we're gonna say the approximation of your morning, or at least the beginning of your day. You have a long rest. Everyone is fully
All right.
rested. You got your hit points back. You got your spell slots back.
Keep points back.
So
Back,
Let's
baby.
go use them
you
all.
have 5 open passageways
Yeah,
in front of
Let's
you.
go use them all.
You know what? Beldan's gonna do something crazy. Beldan's gonna do something that he's never had to done. Well, not done on camera before. Hey, I'm gonna go to that corner. I'm gonna go take a leak.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna wait for him to get back
Okay.
and let him
Yes.
finish his business.
But
But
were you gonna say something?
the standoff's gonna look over at Torrin and be like, "Well, you got the fancy boots. How about you pick the next door?"
Okay.
These
And
boots are
if I
made
can give a
for
suggestion, roll a d6 and pick a door.
That's a fair.
Leave it the chance.
I like it.
If it's 1, roll again.
These boots are made for walking.
It's a very good idea there, Standoff.
That's just what they'll do. One of these
5.
days, boots are
5.
gone.
As Omnipotence goes over to his filing cabinet and pulls it out and starts shifting through.
Door 5. Door
Never
5.
you
door
mind
5,
what
door
I'm
5.
doing. You have your own business to take care of.
Just looks at it and goes, 5, 5, 5.
I have a
5. He pulls out a
question.
folder about that big and goes, "Ooh, you guys love this one."
Tim, with a basic vial, how many of those ball bearings could I realistically coat? Or, yeah. So I don't know how big the ball bearings are, and I don't really know how big the dose is. But realistically, like, how many could I do?
Interesting.
More than one?
That's interesting. Yeah, more than one.
That corner over there, it's mine.
You
Good
just
job,
staring-
Belden. Did you write your
It's
Very-
an
name?
interesting question, and I
He's
was
staring
not
at his
prepared
child.
to answer it. So I can say that one vial is going to cover 13 of them.
Oh, jeez!
One
That's a good amount.
You are a
P?
you are
What
a,
happened?
you are a kind and just lord.
Go through the passageway before you start throwing
Are you
out.
sure you know what you just did? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I
man,
do.
I really said I had to go piss now. What happened?
Well, I picked door 5. Tim's threatening V, and apparently V
Not
is
threatening me.
No.
dipping
Yeah,
ball bearings
I just
in a
rolled for that.
glass
yeah,
bottle?
13.
In nail polish.
All right. Well, I mean, I just took a piss. in a
Discreetly,
cat
I'd like to do that as
demon
discreetly as possible. But yeah, 13
else?
ball bearings and crimson red nail polish.
Yeah.
All right.
Why
Well,
not?
the passageway has been chosen. So
Oh God,
All right.
So,
That's gonna be- that's
straight
gonna-
on till morning.
I'll be sacrifice. I go through.
I follow right behind Beldan.
Beldan goes through the fifth passageway,
Oh man, please don't let me land on my face.
followed by Torrin.
I'll go
Midagast just kind of
Gotta be done.
shakes his head and follows Torrin.
Standoff is going to stomp out his pipe really quick and just back into the pocket it goes. Just struts on behind Metagast.
I follow up behind Standoff.
Yeah, I'm taking the rear. Taking up the
No, you're not.
first.
Tarook's still behind you.
And
I think I'm gonna wait until Tarook should
All
go
right, good.
first.
So in
Isla.
that order, that will end me. Cool. Just making sure.
Isla kind of like playfully kind of punches Tarook's arm, and she goes, "Let's go, handsome." And she just heads through the passageway.
all right, pretty lady.
Bear gives her like a you don't know what you just did look. Killer.
Well, and from
You
what you
done.
gather, Isla kind of throws those around to people she likes anyway. She's kind of very playful spirit type, so yeah, it's
He's starting to like her more and more.
take it. Everybody goes. So,
Yes.
a little different from the first passageway you went through. When you pass through the fifth passageway, it is almost like a very dark corridor, very similar to the first one, but you feel the air changes about halfway through. There's more of a humidity, and there's more of a, did we step outside? And then, Beldan, as you take your first step, you get hit with fog.
Oh god.
If you say sewer,
We're Louisiana. Oh god. It's worse. We're Louisiana.
You're on the right track, Beldan. It is a green forest. It's a very dense forest, but with a thick mist fog over it.
does it smell?
Smells about like Louisiana. It's very swampy.
Oh man.
It's very kind
We're
of
in a
like,
bog again. No.
not quite a bog, but it's murky. It's definitely like a murky forest.
I'll
Corallos
take
is
that
not
over
gonna
the
like
sewer
this.
any day.
Wait,
All right, so I'm through. So I'm gonna step. Oh, I can't. Can you, dude?
party question. Are we all through the,
No, he just started with me, and I immediately want to. Oh, I'm through. I want to move because I know what's coming.
right, yeah.
I'm doing the same. Just be like, whoop.
It's like it's not winter that's coming. It's the train of people that are gonna run over me.
Yes, that's very
No,
true.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
What I was trying to give you was like, it's kind of like a murky forest. Kind of like, it's very close. if
So
that
like
makes sense. Like, it's
Everglades, but with trees. and thicker.
Everglades-ish. Very, very much
Got
like an
it.
Everglades
Okay.
to it. Yeah, it's humid,
Stifling, gross,
stifling. Yes, yes, very, yeah, very.
chafing. There will be
And
chafing.
as each one of you come through the passageway, you all get hit with this. It's kind of like a, oh man. It's almost like where you can taste the moisture in the air.
It's like we're living in Torrin's breath.
I'm gonna make my ring.
I kinda
smell
like it.
I'm gonna make my ring smell like amber musk and just kind of like hold it to
Okay.
Are-
Moss-covered trees. There's no real passageway to speak of. It's just a dense forest in front of you.
All right. So we're all through now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could I possibly cast a Pass Without Trace?
Certainly.
There we go.
All right.
Look at you. So why don't you tell everybody? Because I know you haven't used that
I'm
one before.
trying to get serious.
Go
Y'all.
ahead. Go ahead and tell everybody
All
what
right,
Pass Without a
so-
Trace does.
All right. So TLDR, it's pretty much like shadows and silence are going to cover all of us, making us very hard, impossible to detect. And for the duration of the spell, each of you, including myself, has a 10+ bonus to dexterity and stealth checks and cannot be tracked except by magical means.
Okay.
Well, damn.
And
Where was this?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
best. Well, no one lets me speak. But last but not least, a creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage. So
Ew.
we can pass through. We're not going to leave any footprints.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pass without a trace, baby.
I like it.
Let me
Go.
let you speak.
So,
All right.
by the way, as each one of you has now stepped forth, the magical doorway behind you has disappeared.
Of course.
Very similar to how it did in the last one.
Oh,
All right.
wonderful.
So, who wants to? Beldan, do you still feel comfortable taking lead, or do you want one of us to do it?
Forests aren't my thing, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Kind of out of my element here.
There.
I look. Oh,
Hey,
go ahead, B.
hey.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I turn and look back at Isla. How about it, sis? You want to show off your tracking skills
What are
Yeah,
we
why not?
tracking?
or your hiking skills?
Well, have both of you
All right.
do one. Have you do one and Isla do one. And
What is-
I'm gonna say, go ahead and make a survival check out of this.
Survival. Okay.
I'm city folk, unless it's like a cave or something.
Oh,
24.
natural 20.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So yeah, between the two of you, pretty darn good. The sisters in tandem start finding, even without real footpaths to speak of, easier ways through the brush and through the greenery, avoiding brambles. And even between the two of you, you notice a almost like a sinkhole that surely would have tripped the party up. You and Isla
Yeah, I
recognizing
know we're
it.
playing in sinkholes.
Yeah, you and Isla immediately recognizing it, and she takes a rock and just tosses it, and you see as like the rock touches the surface of the sinkhole and immediately just goes
Ugh.
and
Oh.
goes down. Like
Nice
immediate.
eye.
Why did
and
it do that? How did it do that? Why did it do that?
and she kind of looks at you as you say that. She goes, well, some sinkholes, I'd say that one might be alive. And she just kind of looks at you, kind of like, just take my word for it. And she goes, avoid it. Don't step near it. And it.
Ugh. I'm gonna like grab onto one of the stronger party members as we walk around it. Torrin or
the
Tarook.
fact that the two of you rolled so high, it basically one of the obvious,
Right.
treacheries of the fire swamp you avoid. Phrasing. Okay.
Obvious. I don't like obvious.
As you keep on heading further, and I'm gonna keep the rolls you guys had because you did really well. As I said, there's very dense greenage, trees, moss. It takes you about 30 minutes, but you do find a recessed cave in the side of a little, like, I wouldn't even call it a hill. It's kind of like a mound. Not big enough to be a hill, but a very small one. And you
Okay.
see a recessed cave.
Ooh.
There's very little else in the way of discernible things in this area, though. It just looks like the fog makes it very difficult as far as visual going, and the reason you're doing so well is because the two of you rolled so high.
Well, we're kind of stopping and checking this
Okay.
place out. I did send you a text. Can I roll some kind of a? Can I do some kind of a roll to see if I can find anything useful?
Yeah, roll me investigation check for that, B.
I think with my kit, I get to add my... It's a soft 20. 18 plus 2.
There are a few local plant life that might do what you ask. With a soft 20, I'm going to say that you do come across a purplish kind of bloom that kind of catches your eye, and there's also like an orange
Random dance party!
Now it's the dance party.
Dance party time, yes.
But I'm lit.
Man, he's back.
He's back.
Going back, you see a purplish bloom and an orangish yellow bloom, both of which, just from your proficiency with this, both of those catch your eye.
I'm gonna pick them and lace them into my braid.
Which one are you messing with? Or just both of them, or?
Yeah, just both of them. I'm gonna start with the purple one.
Okay, so for the purple one, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Ruh-roh.
Oh boy.
Right. Oh gosh, that's a 16 plus 2. 18.
18. Okay, you do make the save. As the purplish one, as you get near to get ready to reach for it and touch it, the bloom turns towards you, and there's a as it shoots a barb directly at you, but you're quick enough to move your head. And,
Mine.
oh, missile snaring.
I'm just gonna kind of put it in my hair.
Yeah. Okay. You catch it. It is a.
Oh yeah! I don't want to put a key point, but.
I was gonna say, did you use for missile snaring?
I guess that would be up to you. I
thought that's what you were telling me. That's why I'm asking.
Oh no! You made it seem like I did without spending a key point. I would, but I don't want to work a key point right now.
Okay. Well, then you move your head, and you're kind of like, oh, okay. And so you kind of move around, and you said with a 20, and you get the bloom, and you realize, oh, okay, this one shoots like a barb. It's almost like a thorn.
Interesting.
So that one might catch your attention.
Okay. The orange one doesn't look interesting.
It does look interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna fuck with the orange one. Although, I'm assuming the party's investigating the cave right now.
Yeah. No, the orange one, there's a little bit of movement as far as the underbrush near it.
Ooh.
But nothing happens. You just see some branches and some like leaves kind of recoil when you reach for it at first, but that's it.
If I pick it, does anything happen?
You pick it?
Yeah.
Nope. Just as you see, when you see the stem that you pulled off, the part that remains just kind of curls in on itself.
Isn't that one pretty too? Put them in my hair.
Okay. That's it.
All right.
Moving on. There's a cave.
Sorry guys, they're like flowers.
Oh, you're fine.
It's all right.
There's a recessed cave.
Let's go in the cave.
Head inside the cave.
Let's
All
go
right.
in the cave!
Go in the cave.
Roll me perception checks.
Yeah.
All right.
The only real anything that looks like it's shelter at the moment. So, I mean, you could pick a direction and go, but
Nope.
I got another dirty
It's
20
just
on that,
force.
Tim.
Got 14.
me 14.
15.
I got like
I
a
got a
22.
11.
Oh no.
Nedagast got a 5, so they're not helpful at all.
Oh, Metagast. You handsome fool.
I got a dirty 20, Tim.
Tarook's- What did you get, Tarook?
Dirty
Tarook, you got
20.
20. Oh, thank you, God.
Dirty
Yes.
20.
Thank you,
yeah,
Tarook.
okay. Just
Thanks, you
as
guys.
the numbers across the party, yeah, it was a group. It was a group one. That wasn't a.
Got it.
And the cave goes on for a little bit, but you're starting to see signs of a dwelling from the inside. There are a few, like pots, busted book stands. There's signs of a dwelling inside of this cave. And as you keep going, you do eventually find an elderly looking elf male sitting at a wooden table reading a book.
Oh. Well, maybe we...
Does Standoff recognize this person?
Standoff's old.
Yeah, I know, that's why I'm... Standoff. History, if you would.
History. Or real character sheet. This is getting nice. Oh, that is going to be a 26.
26. Ooh. You are definitely sure, without a shadow of a doubt, you've never seen this person.
Oh,
oh, hopes are crushed.
We'll find somebody you know soon, then I guess.
When you roll well, you are 100% sure you've not met this person. So
which is something.
Standoff is like, I don't know this guy.
Did he hear Standoff?
The elderly, the elderly elf just kind of regards you, kind of like, I don't know you either. But in looking at the entourage, welcome.
We apologize for intruding in your home.
Yes, please. I don't have. Take a seat on my cave floor. I don't have many chairs.
I'm gonna sit like close to him on the floor, very primly, just sort of like, oh, wait, thank you, and like sit very primly on the floor beside him.
He's very cordial. He's
Torrin just kind of plops down.
And just to give you a better description of, dressed fairly nice for a cave hermit. Kind of silverish gray robes. Not clean, but nicer than what you would think a hermit would wear. A staff strapped to his back. Long silver hair that it's like longer than mine, like runs down to like his midsection. Straight hair. Very Lord of the Rings elfish with the hair, actually. Yes. And lines, even for an elf, lines showing his age. This is a very old man. And what little you know about elven lifespans, this man has been alive for a long time.
Standoff's hat kind of shimmers up the top, and then directly behind him, a very small chair kind of forms, and he just kind of leans back into it.
Okay.
That's handy.
They're very intensely looking at this older elf.
I'm going to ask the elf, and just going to tell him, good sir, we've gone through quite the ordeal. Could you perhaps tell us where exactly we are, besides your lovely home?
Unfortunately, I don't know. I mean, this is my home. I live in a cave in this little burrowed hill. I do not know where I am as far as location. I know that I've been here for many, many years. I was brought here against my will.
Oh goodness, spy?
Yeah, against my will.
Tragic.
Standoff stands up for a moment.
Sounds familiar as Torrin, like, just barely peers over to Metagast.
Can I insight him when he says, again, can I insight him?
Yeah, roll me insight check on the elderly elven man.
Oh, Jesus. 24.
24.
It's like when he says against his will, he sounds like he was trying to negate something. I was wondering what he's trying to negate.
I was gonna message it to you. What I will tell you, taking a good look at him, he doesn't appear to be openly lying about anything. He seems to be forthcoming. What you notice about him, and it was only for a flash, V, but you almost feel like there was a gleam to his eyes when he said that he was brought here against his will. You swear that you might have seen like a green flash from his eye just for a moment.
Oh, crap.
But you don't know if maybe the light just hit it. Weird.
Strange. V would have no context for that. Just interesting.
Yeah, just what?
Moving on.
Yeah, just face value what I told you at this point. And he actually formally introduces himself. He goes, "Well, just so you know, my name is Torrin. Pleasure to meet you."
Torrin. Very beautiful name. They call me Standoff.
Pleasure.
Pleasure. I hail from Tamriel. Where do you remember coming from?
It was a long time ago. I came from... Well, I came from the northern wastes. You know where the Frostfell are?
I've heard.
Yes. Further north. Very undeveloped land. Very tribal. I have not seen my home in many hundreds of years.
What brought you here? Against your will.
Just to kind of point out this one, Standoff would know nothing of the past the northern wastes. That's something that he would never have gone to.
Yeah, any of you can roll a history check on that if you want, and I'm going to get you to be in a second.
It ain't me. It ain't me.
You must can roll a history check.
Yeah, about the northern wastes.
Alright. Dirty 20.
I got 17 plus 2, Tim, 19.
Woo woo.
I got a
way
20
to
and a 19.
I got a 6.
13.
Tarook is awfully good at his
13.
Tarook's rolling great tonight, babe.
Yeah.
Tarook, you know amongst your tribe, you've heard it mentioned, maybe once or twice by your father, if that. You have not been there, but you know that it's pretty much what he did. The elf described. It is an untamed land. It is not developed. It is wilderness and beasts and, you know,
Lots of danger, basically.
lots of danger, it's basically frontier. It's all frontier. And anybody who lives out there, they're very hardy people to be able to survive out there and live out there. It would take a person being whatever, they can handle themselves if they live out there. Because there's no civilization.
No. I know the place that he speaks of. My father, when I was a little Goliath, he used to tell tales of this, of place he mentioned, and that some of the most wildest beasts out there, some just raging monsters that any Goliath wanted to get their hands on, a true warrior, you know, would want to fight. I mean, you gotta be, thick skin, tough as hide to live, you know, in that place. It's just all out straight danger, and it's just an adrenaline rush. And just talking about it, man, really tweaks me, you know?
For your question that you asked, if you would roll me a persuasion, if you will.
$14.
He regards you as you ask the question, but he dodges it again.
Okay.
And he just kind of, my earliest memories of coming here, they're not much. Suffice to say, I was brought here against my wishes.
Okay. I'd hate to ask to roll another insight check, but do I get the impression that he's like scared to say who or why, or?
From your insight from before, it's tough to tell. He's tough to read. He's not. You caught something a moment ago in him, but at the second prodding of that particular thing, he's not betraying what he's saying.
Okay.
Tough to read.
Interesting. That doesn't happen a lot to me.
I guess besides your home here, are there any other, I guess you would call them, points of interest in this area? Have you been out? How far does the forest extend? You know?
I have explored, and I have had time to explore. There is a point where the forest ends. It's almost like a barrier. It's almost as if the forest itself doesn't want you to leave. Certainly for you all to have made it this far, you've learned the basics. Don't trust the local plant life. That can be dangerous.
I don't know what you mean. I just picked some flowers.
And you see at that, his eyes get wide. He goes, "You did what?"
Nothing. We're very interested in finding a way out of here.
Roll a deception.
Oh man.
I mean, they're in my hair. That's a 17 plus 8.
You rolled
25.
a 5 plus.
Sorry, old man.
You see?
You're playing with the big
That's
girl.
insight plus 7, 12. No. No, he just kind of nods and he goes, "Okay, good." He just kind of dismisses the thought. And so, if you don't mind my asking, what brings you all here?
Horrible luck.
Standoff's chair has disappeared, and now this creature has crawled up and is standing on his left side. I will send a picture.
Okay.
Maybe.
I kind of want to.
Bad luck and really poor choice in friends.
I just sit there and nod my head.
I made poor choices in friends once, a long time ago, so I certainly understand.
Does that have anything? I would assume that has to do with why you're here.
Not directly related, no, but, yeah, you could say in a roundabout way, yes.
You seem clever, if not resilient. I'd be surprised if something tricked you here.
We've all been naive
We all make mistakes.
and
I think that's
young.
Ah, the curse of youth.
Young and naive is usually a bad combination. And he does not make eye contact with that. He's kind of looking off to the side.
Is he looking at anything particular?
The floor.
No. There's no reason why one's mistakes has to define the rest of their life. That's what he says. We can't be useful to you if...
He kind of, there's like a gutter, like a growl almost, like kind of like that deep in his throat, and he's just kind of like, we all learn from our mistakes, I guess.
What did you learn?
Out here, he just kind of looks around in solitude.
Ah, a hard lesson. But a rewarding one.
While this conversation's going on,
Uh-huh.
is there anything that possibly any of the other party may be able to take a look into, maybe observe the room a little bit more? Or...
Yeah, for those of you who aren't in a direct conversation with him, yeah, go ahead and give me perception checks.
Can I use detect magic?
Sure.
Tim, I noticed the creature on Standoff's shoulder,
Yeah.
and I walk right up to it, and I flex.
All
Without
right.
you watching, it looks like bok choy made sentient.
Yeah, it's kind
No,
of
that's
like
buff choice. What that is.
Good
Good lord.
It is
It's supposed to be
basically
a
a
buff
buff.
onion.
It's like a but it's like a mandrake that went to the gym.
Yeah, there
like
we go.
it's
Yeah.
Right. I
it's
got
basically
It's
the Harry
supposed to be
Potter
a very
mandrake,
buff-
but
Yeah.
kind of
It's a
supposed to be a
yolk
very buff
mandrake.
onion.
yeah.
I dig it.
I'll be calling the mimic buff choy from now on.
Buff choy.
Buff
Buff
choy.
Yes.
Skip
Yeah,
leg day.
yeah, it's.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
who rolled
wait, it
perception
flexes
checks
back.
for-
I
Oh, you
did.
said the party?
Okay. What'd you get, Britt?
19.
19.
12.
Yeah.
Looking around, it's very simple. You see a bed. It doesn't move.
Are you sure? Can I throw a rock at it?
You're
Don't be-
more than welcome
Don't be
to.
rude.
Maybe I can convert it into
No,
my
if you
legion.
had the experience we've had with beds.
No, a very simple dwelling. He lives in this hollowed out cave. You see a couple tomes. They look tattered, and from the looks of it, he might have had them with him. He might have wrote them. You don't know, but it's a very simple means of dwelling in this hollowed out cave.
Do for food.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to try?
The standoff was looking towards more or less if he can find any kind of bookshelf or anything like that, but I think you've already covered that.
Yeah. He does have one. It's kind of rotted through, and like I said, there was a couple tomes on it. And once again, they look very old looking. You don't know if maybe he had those on him, or if he wrote them. You don't know.
In the moment when he notices this, excuse me, do you mind? I see some very fancy books over here. Do you mind if I go take a gander?
Yeah, I don't mind you taking a look at one of them. And he goes and he grabs one of them and kind of blows like a layer of dust off of it, and sets it down in front of you. He goes, "This one is just simple incantations and things that I know. It's his spell book."
Okay.
His
What about
tome.
the other ones? Are they just history books or?
Yeah, you could say in a way. Those are more personal to me and what I've found as far as in this forest. I've had centuries to discover everything in this God's forsaken forest. So I thought categorizing it was a good way to spend my time.
Yeah, very well. Do I need to roll anything looking through the spell book?
You take a look. It's some basic alter self. There's some basic incantations, nothing too gnarly. Keep metal. It's just very mundane, generic. Was there something specific you were looking for?
Nothing specific, but with the information of alter self, I know there should be a counter spell, possibly.
Well, yeah, you would know that just as being a wizard. You would know that, yeah, there's counterspell.
Okay. But
Or in the case of like altering self or like appearance, there's that counterspell wouldn't work for that. It would be dispel magic for that one.
dispel magic, then yes,
Yeah.
I'm looking for something. I'm looking for that.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be in this book?
Dispel magic?
Yes.
You don't see it immediately. No, just thumbing through it. Mm-mm.
Okay. Other than that, is there any, like, should I roll for anything of interest that may pop out, something that may be a little bit more substantial, or is this just a run-of-the-mill, something that I would already know?
It's fairly generic. It's basic. If you're looking for, as far as tabletop, it's early level spells in that spell book.
Okay. Then Standoff's just going to stand aside and just kind of look through and just study the notes and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, be like, yeah, that's right, typo. Here we go.
Right.
That's all he's going to do on the side.
Okay, as you're doing that, he kind of goes back to what he was asking you guys before. And he goes, so what brought you here?
Can I cast Minor Illusion of the first key
Mm-hmm.
and say we're looking for this?
Okay, as you do that, he almost it's I'm not even making a roll for it. He's almost unfazed and very nonplussed, just looking at it as if he kind of expected that's what you were looking for. He kind of goes, see,
We're not the first, are we? That have come this way.
Yeah, he started to speak, and when you chime in, he kind of nods. He goes, "No, you're not."
What happened to the others before us?
There's that low guttural, almost like a sneer. It's like a, and then he kind of writes again. Go ahead, and since you're the only one that kind of caught on well, Nat and V, give me perception for the two of you.
All right, baby, you've been doing good.
23. 19 plus 3.
23. Nat?
17.
Okay. V, well, he kind of cocks his head at the questioning of what happened to others who had came, and there was something very weird about his teeth. They didn't really look human at that moment, and then it's almost like you blink, and when you refocus, you see this elderly elven man again.
Can I do like some kind of performance or deception check to try to alert someone in the party to danger, but like alert somebody that something weird, but without him noticing? Something like, and like look at someone and be like.
He reaches inside his robe and pulls out something that's a bauble that's been hanging about his neck, and it's a talisman rounded, very similar to the illusion that Corallos is projecting.
Well, that solves that, doesn't it?
And he kind of looks all of you over and just kind of here's where things get complicated.
I'm gonna stand up, not threateningly, just sort of like well, I guess we're doing this.
Right.
And he kind of almost like a hand, just kind of like a moment. And he kind of rubs the side of his head. As long as cards are out on the table. The flickering visage of the elven man starts to disappear. And the entirety of the inside of this dwelling starts to fill as he starts to swell. And his skin color changes to a green, scales, armored. And you see his 4 legs. And then as the elven face starts to elongate into more of a draconic-like...
Oh, I thought that.
Oh boy.
Face. And you see before you, standing... towering over the rest of you. And it's very strange because it seems like as he grew in size, the inside of this cave grew. Okay, like your perspective shifted. Nearly 20 feet tall, you see an adult green dragon staring down at the rest of you.
Tim, can I make a roll to see if I know anything about
to
green
shit
dragons?
your pants? Yes.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna ask the same thing.
I don't know if I know anything about green. Obviously, besides big and scary, but that's kind of losing its flavor at this point.
Can Torrin roll? Because he's the only other reptile in the party.
What do you want to know about it? Just whether you know anything about dragons, green dragons?
Anything. To have any context with it.
I'll give it to you, but I'm gonna make it a religion roll for you.
I'm pretty sure I know my either way.
Torrin, survival.
Can I assist her on the religion roll?
No, because I'm gonna have two people rolling for different reasons for this. So I'm gonna have
Okay.
it's a survivor roll for Torrin, it's a religion roll for V.
Okay.
It's, 15.
Oh my god, I got a 15 too. Just for something, like...
This would be the first chromatic dragon that you've ever come across.
Me or... Yeah.
You, V.
Oh.
You with your background and everything, you haven't gone adventuring into the dark and deep places in Thurandia. So this is the first green dragon you've ever come across.
So if we're just rolling straight into combat, I won't even bother with this. But if
Not yet.
So what I was looking for, I want to talk to him, but I want to know if I have any place to start. So have I heard not so much like knowledge about them or facts, but have I heard any? Did we tell any stories about them? Do I know any bedtime stories? Would that be more of a wisdom check for like? Anything I've personally heard as like a story, not necessarily, or like seen them in paintings or artwork. Not like
you
facts.
have seen them depicted, and you know that in there can be you do know with your 15 in religion, you do know of dragon cults.
They're scary and they're intelligible. That's about what I would know.
Yeah, you don't know too much beyond that. Torrin, once again with a 15, which you know, green dragons are, as far as you know, they're a little more intelligent than the other. The other chromatics. Green dragons are cunning, known for making deals, but also a little reputation of kind of like genie deals. There's a little trickery to them.
Right, there's always a catch.
Yeah, and it's tough. Because you, once again, you've never really ran into one, even in your village. I mean, Dragonborn, there weren't chromatic dragons roaming in the Draconic Empire.
Right.
You know, and it's not something that you just stumble across.
Right.
So V is scared, but I'm the closest to him when he morphed, obviously. I want to stay there. I don't want to freak out, but I want to look up at him and just cock my head.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to seem rude. Like, I'm not trying to be sassy, but just...
He has not made an aggressive move yet. He simply did his...
as polite as I can, I just want to be like, I can't imagine a creature such as you would find yourself tricked into this position lightly. I can't imagine you bear very good will towards the monster that I'm assuming brought you here, unless you know nothing of the Rakshasa.
You mention Rakshasa and you just hear his teeth grind.
Oh, I understand, noble creature. I understand the vitriol that you must be feeling.
It doesn't even take a roll to know that you struck a nerve.
Standoff is going to take a step forward really quick.
Master
Dragonborn, please. I can tell by your abilities that you crush your jaws in hate.
It's no friend of
We're
ours
on the same page. What was that, V?
Oh, I just added no friend of
She was
ours.
kind of just back.
We're all on the same page, basically. Continue, Sam.
We are in your mercy. You are literally 20 feet above us. But if you help, we will find you home.
You see as the snout of this creature, Standoff, comes down to kind of meet you, his eyes meeting yours. It's kind of disturbing because they're almost like, they glow. It's almost like headlights.
Yes.
Right at you.
Standoff is very accustomed to headlights.
And it's not a power move. It's just him.
Just how he is.
Scrutinizing you.
Yes.
And you all feel a draft of air and it just took a whiff of your entire party. And you feel just a gust of air blow past you as it inhales. And he's good, and he just kind of tilts his head. And You haven't stolen anything from me, that much I can tell. Although
We dare not, Master Dragonborn.
He kind of there's a pause, and he kind of goes into this entire bit about, I was taken as a wormling by our host and placed here as a guardian to destroy any adventurers that came looking for him.
What keeps you binded to doing that task? I want to kind of take a deep breath, put my hand on whatever his haunches, his nose, whatever is around.
You can get one of his claws.
Okay, I want to do that, kind of like respectfully but placating, just sort of a.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you take to being ordered or outsmarted lightly. What could possibly be keeping you?
Every time you've mentioned him being kind of outsmarted, there's a disgust across his face.
Please.
And
Standoff stands forward, right in his nose, and places respectfully hands up, and then to the sides of his nostrils, and just places his hands and looks this beast in the eyes. Says, "We care not what has happened. We fear for you for that. What binds you here now? How can we help you?"
you see as the talisman that's around his neck is still a necklace around his neck, even in draconic form. And you see as he takes one claw from his right hand and removes it and just suspends it.
What of this trinket?
He just kill him and release me.
And that's when Torrin steps forward.
In return, I'll give you your lives, and you can walk out of here.
Torrin,
Really
quick. You say you wanted to step up, and he had given that information. I don't know if I lagged out or not, but all I seen was omnipotence say something, but I didn't hear words.
I didn't hear
I'm gonna repeat.
Go
it
ahead.
So
Okay.
Yeah. He takes that talisman that was about his neck, and he's got it hanging from one claw, suspended in midair, and he goes, "Kill him and release me." Solitude is not good for any being. This is doubly so when it's solitude for 800 years.
That's when
Did I
Torrin.
freeze again?
No, you're good. You're good. That was.
No, you guys are frozen.
That was good.
Oh no, we froze for him.
So
Oh, no.
Yeah.
well, we didn't
but
say anything. We're just kind of all in shock right now. So that's when
We didn't freeze.
standoff. May I,
You guys are cutting in and out.
Please,
man.
Torrin, take the field.
Tim?
Technical difficulty there, but where we were at, the elven, the ancient-looking elven man has transformed into a adult green dragon, and he's in the middle of explaining to you guys that he has been held captive here for close to 800 years. I don't know if that came across before we lost it. So okay, that's where we're at, and he still has the
amulet.
talisman, the amulet hanging
So-
from his claw, and the only thing he asks you guys is, kill him and release me. I will be eternally grateful.
And that's when Torrin was gonna step forward. Standoff. May I?
Please, by all means, Torrin.
My dragon brethren, I swear to you, we will kill this beast and free you.
Persuasion check, Torrin.
Can Standoff assist?
I'm gonna say because of Vare, and you have done most of the talking for this. I'm going to give him advantage on this.
Okay.
Say that you guys have assisted him. You have not angered him openly, so.
Oh no. That's 2.
With it.
With advantage. With advantage.
What?
Yeah.
Hell?
Wow, this went sideways quick, huh?
Yep. Great. We're gonna fight a dragon.
His focus comes off of standoff, and then the snout kind of just burrows holes into you, Torrin.
Oh, great.
We are not brethren. I am simply offering a deal. Right now, your lives in exchange for my freedom. Or else I can melt every last one of you here. It doesn't matter.
Can standoff interject?
Yeah, I would suggest that you better.
Master Dragonborn, please.
I'd like to step in front of Torrin, almost like taking a bullet, like kind of step between him and the snout, and just sort of come up and just kind of, I don't look this thing dead in the eyes, and just give it like this. I'm not looking pretty. I have like a deep hatred, We're no friends of it. We would be pleased to end it.
And please, Mr. Dragonborn, we are not here to quarrel. We understand your plight. There are others among us who suffer the same consequences as you on different levels. We just ask for your assistance in this very instance. In return, we will do everything in return to give you your freedom that you ask.
Standoff. You guys get one more. You get one more persuasion roll. I'm going to say standoff, you can have advantage, or standoff and V can make separate rolls. It's up to you.
I think we should make separate rolls because I get advantage anyways on these rolls.
Okay.
So what do I get?
You rolling for persuasion and she's rolling for persuasion.
Okay.
Hey, gang. It's been nice knowing you.
She's definitely going to do a lot better than I am when it comes to persuasion. But
Beat.
23.
yeah. Give the old... Anyone blow on the dice? Blow on the dice?
No, dude, it's bad luck for dude to do it.
Oh, okay.
I'll blow on your dice for you, honey.
Give me the dice blow! There you go, Tarook! Ah, not 20!
Yeah!
See, my blowing days aren't behind me.
Crap
Your
roll!
blowing days are in front of you.
Oh, thank Christ.
Ow,
You
ow,
see
ow, ow, ow,
a
ow, ow.
very unsettling grin come across as you see the rows of teeth across his
Shivers.
face.
I like it.
And there's like a snort of amusement. In standoff, you get the claw starts to reach towards you, and it drops the amulet.
Standoff's hands come out and just receives.
Hey, you're like real super low.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got low.
Yeah, you got low.
It's weird.
Get low, get low, get low.
His hands come out and just receive. And with that, he takes the one hand with the amulet and puts it behind his back, and with the other hand, stretches out forward and takes a bow while not losing eye contact. Thank you, Master Dragonborn. We are forever in your debt, and we will oblige our deal.
Destroying him should free me.
I must ask you one favor for us, Mr. Dragonborn. Upon release of your eternal bounds, can you lend aid to those in need? And Standoff looks to the party until you may find a new home. Oh, he has to think about it.
It's better than him melting us on the spot.
I mean, yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
I didn't even bother because I could cut out. Okay. He contemplates what you said. He said, "Our deal will be concluded after the Rakshasa dies. But take my word. I will not interfere in your affairs as long as you're in mine."
Then a deal is struck. Thank you so much, Mr. Dragonborn.
You see as the countenance of the adult green dragon starts to shrink, and the scales start to recede, the talons recede back into the humanoid hands, and you see the ancient-looking elven man standing before you once again, and with a very cheerful look on his face. It's always nice to meet new people.
Isn't it, though?
It quite is. Standoff has one last question.
Oh, God. Vare does, too, but I don't want to piss it off.
Oh god.
Mr. Dragonborn, you understand, above all of us, how strong this entity is. Do you have anything in your inventory that may assist us in trying to defeat this foe?
No. But I believe that there are other things that you might find along the way.
Anything in your garden by chance?
He just shakes his head. Nothing that would aid you here.
Thank you very much for your assistance, Mr. Dragonborn. Lady No, I believe I seen some puzzling looks on your mind. Do you have anything to ask?
No.
Typical of Lady No.
And then quietly, I'm going to say, just so the elf can hear me, and just say, not in mixed company. As quietly as I can.
There's a nod. Wow. Good day.
Beldan knows when a welcome's worn out, he's gonna leave.
Beldan's done.
Midagast is like following you step for step.
Come on, Midagast, let's go.
And even Isla's kind of like, just kind of stealthily backing out and just kind of like, okay, I'm good. Just.
Yep.
I'm really happy that I marked that corner before I left.
Yeah, Vare's going to kind of lag.
Mm-hmm.
And Standoff will proceed with the group while Vare lags, but holds off at the very end, just without of earshot. Just waits so she can come
Yeah, I
up
got
later.
you. You're just waiting. I got you. D?
Yeah, so I'm going to ask really quietly to it, right? I'm going to just very quietly look at the man and just say, I'm not used to being slighted. You, I imagine, even less so. And I don't like it. But I have to ask, can hate really be all that's kept you going all this time?
Not even trying to hide it. There's almost what you would consider almost like a vein of a verdant green, but it's kind of sickly. It's like a sick dark green vein that's kind of starting to be revealed from the under the skin, kind of. something that he was kind of keeping track. And he says, "You'd be surprised how far hatred can take you."
Can you tell me how? Because it would be so much easier than what I'm dealing with now.
Only Pendergast the wise one.
There's a genuine smile that comes across his face. It's a little unsettling, and very quietly he says, very simple, "You take priority over all else."
I'm gonna curtsy, and I want to like bow my head enough to where the flowers in my hair are very obvious. Thank you. Our deal is struck. And just for the record,
As you walk out, he says behind you, "You might want to take the yellow one off. It'll strangle you in your sleep."
Good to know.
The bargain struck, like the man said. And just for the record, I don't care what you do when you leave here. And I'm gonna follow the party. And I'm gonna leave the flower.
You see as it starts to like crawl, almost like a thing from Adam's Family.
Yes! I love it. What a nice guy. What an absolute lad.
What a nice face melty man.
Yes.
What an
What
entity to make a friend of, guys. In short order, you make and I'm not gonna make you roll with Nat and Isla. You've already made the track before. It's a fairly easy track back to where, and with the talisman in hand, the doorway has reappeared for you guys to go back through.
In we go.
Risk it for the biscuit again. Yeah.
As each member of the party, you find yourself back in the circular chamber. And as you guys come through, as it did with door number 1, door number 5 closes up behind you, and it is solid stone.
That was not a fun door, guys.
Nope.
Not a fun door.
I mean, I had more
That was
fun.
actually a very good door.
But we
I had
did
more fun
not
than
get
bone
able to
creatures.
fight you guys.
Yeah, I had more fun than the bone skeleton creatures.
That's true.
You see as this full armored skeleton puts his head between his legs and kind of is just like, whoa.
Oh, pat his back. It's okay. It's okay, man. It's okay, man.
It's okay, sir.
Breathe.
It's okay, Metagast.
Breathe. I mean, yeah. Whatever you do to calm down.
I'm gonna, yeah.
Boy, Torrin, he sure didn't
Torrin
like you.
just stomps off, swearing in Draconic.
I mean,
I understand everything you're
you
saying.
know, that's a real dragon. You know?
Poor
Dang.
Torrin, with advantage.
Poor guy.
From that, the little mimic that is underneath Standoff hat comes out and mimics the other dragon in a 2-foot-tall statue and goes and then just kind of evaporates back underneath Standoff's hat.
Image the true big bad of the campaign.
I'm gonna give Standoff a really skeptical look, though, and just quietly tell him that was mint.
Well, that was fun. We didn't get to fight anything, which I'm a little upset. But this time around, I'm not that upset.
No,
So
no,
I say
he's learning.
we go do door number 3.
I mean, we have to know them all eventually.
You
so.
know what? I will say this.
3? Is that what Tarook?
Number 3, my lord. Number 3.
Number 3, my lord.
No, what I will say is, like Torrin did before, Torrin rolled a d6. And we will keep rolling until it comes down to it. If it's a game of chance, the next door is on a roll of dice. 1 or 5 is a re-roll. Torrin, you rolled last. You select the next person who rolls to the door.
Well, I say standoff as the hero of this last door. Why don't you do the honors?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr.
That's a bad
I went
idea.
from crazy
You
to
don't want to
sane
do
in
that.
like 20 seconds.
Yes.
You don't
Go
want
ahead.
to do that.
Just
Yes,
roll.
come on,
I
standoff.
was
You've been
not
around
the
long
hero.
enough. You pick. Look, standoff. You just go 1, 2, 3, 4,
Dude.
5. Come on,
So
you
I
got
go-
it, standoff.
1, 2, 3.
No. All right. We're not gonna get anywhere with this. Standoff.
No, we're not.
Just
All right, so
points.
D6. D6 coming up. Door number 2.
Number 2.
Would like to see standoff give the dragon a parking ticket for being double parked.
All
That
right.
dragon is gonna
That's
burn
also
up
called
down
quadruple
someday.
parked.
Quadruple parked.
Because his
What'd you
ass
say,
is-
V?
I said
He's
that dragon is
badonka
gonna
donk.
burn a village down.
Well, luckily,
Oh,
Greek
you don't
dragons
know.
don't breathe fire.
Win some, you lose some. These civilians.
So,
I mean,
doorway
is
number
everyone
2,
okay with
guys.
Door number 2.
Two.
All right. Who's leading the way?
Not me.
Standoff chose. Standoff's first in.
Okay, standoff.
Go behind standoff.
It's all about Beldan. All
Torrin
right.
just kind of slugs behind.
All
I'm
right.
behind Torrin.
All right. As we go, and the rest of the party follows, you go through doorway number 2. Once again, very similar to the first two. It's like a dark hallway for a moment. And once again, this time it hits you. It's a smell. Once again, it's the first thing that hits you. This is it's much different. It's a very metallic iron smell to it.
Do I
Very
recognize
metallic
the
kind of.
smell?
Yeah, it's like kind of like a metallic smell. I mean, you guys know, like, if you ever been into like antique shops, that kind of smell.
Oh, not blood. Got it.
Got it.
Yeah. No, not blood.
not a
I
forge.
apologize if I was leading towards that. No, not that
No.
kind.
Everything.
No
An
blood
actual
or forge.
metallic, an
Hey,
actual
guys,
like
the walls are
metallic
bleeding
smell.
again.
And like I said, if you guys have ever gone to like an antique shop, kind of like that smell.
Musty.
A little musty, but yeah.
Metal.
And standoff. You see it. You and Beldan see it as you enter through the doorway. Once again, you're hit with light, and the light is actually of a torch lit in this very huge, deep chamber. And what you see before you is mounds, piles, tons, heaps of gold.
Oh, Jesus.
Shinies, gems,
Wow.
gold, bars.
Don't touch anything, you guys.
I'd like to throw a ball bearing at one of the piles.
A couple of the coins cascade down as you kind of, disturbed one of the piles a little bit.
Coin mimic.
From the look of the inside, this is a vault.
Now I wonder if this belongs to old
No.
what's his name or Green
Old?
Dragon guy.
Anything.
Do not.
Don't touch anything. Anything. Nothing.
Even Midagas, you hears the clanking from behind. He goes, "Well, this doesn't look suspicious at all."
No, sir. It definitely. Nope.
And
So-
Here.
if you would, party, go ahead and roll me some perception checks.
We have to find a shiny in a room of shinies. 18.
18,
16.
14.
14.
15.
12.
15.
What did you get, V?
9.
9. Not much. Corallos? I didn't hear
15.
you. 15. Okay, the two people who see stuff. Tarook, what you notice is, as you guys, and basically what I'm saying is you're basically staying in a group, but you're just fanning out a little bit to kind of get the lay of the room. It is a vault, from what you can tell. Tarook, what you come across is almost to scale, now that you've met him, a jade statue of a dragon.
Whoa.
Now that you've met him in person, it's about 20 feet tall, made of jade.
Did the Rakshasa steal the dragon's hoard too? What a tool.
It's
Torrin, you want
beautiful.
to try talking to it?
It does not talk back.
Torrin calls
Talk
Tarook
to
something
me,
very
gotcha.
rude and draconic.
And Beldan laughs.
I don't understand what you're saying, so I'm just gonna stand here and act tough until I figure it out.
Torrin, serious question. These kind of statues made of jade, do they have any like significance to her, like with you or?
Boys.
Torrin, religion check.
Watch, this will be the one that works.
That nat 20 that you wanted earlier.
Well, right.
19.
19. There you go. This is blatantly a jade, almost like not quite an idol, but more of like a monument that was built, definitely in the likeness of the dragon that you just met, and actually engraved at the bottom of this statue in Draconic reads Thornfang the Undying.
That dragon had a cool name.
Thornfang the Undying.
I know how to address it.
I'm gonna ask.
As I look up in disdain at the statue.
Yeah.
To answer your question, Nat, yes, this is basically a monument to our green friend.
To all you weird.
As he ingests
well, magic.
a bunch of weird things.
Do any of you have an ability to find a similar item to something? It looks like we may have a kind of needle in a haystack situation going on. If any of you weird folk can find something with an item, maybe you can find a similar item to our existing key.
That would still be detect magical item or detect magic.
The small purple one does detect magic.
Does anyone do anything more specific, like finding a particular kind of item with a kin item?
That's not a thing, I don't think.
Scrying.
Beldan, you were the other person who had a very good investigation or perception.
Ooh.
You get drawn to something. It's a little off to the side from the group, but what you see is a jeweled golden hammer.
Oh,
Lord.
Oh boy.
It is almost displayed, almost like it's a it was put there kind of on purpose. The hammer itself seems to be embedded into the stonework on the ground, like as if somebody swung it and hit the ground with it and it embedded in the ground and it stayed there.
I would like to detect traps.
Okay. Yeah. Roll me some investigation on traps.
you finally did it, guys.
Call.
You finally did it. It's
I also
shiny
have
and
to ask you, Vare, how close you're getting to it.
To the hammer?
Yeah, if you're gonna look at traps.
I would like to just look about the room in general for stuff like.
Oh, okay. You're just doing the room
Are
investigation.
there any other? Okay, so are there any other big, important, pedestal-y looking things? So clearly, they went up to the dragon statue and it didn't do anything. Is there any like big gold pedestal things, or is it just the hammer's kind of the main attraction?
The hammer was kind of on like I'm not gonna say a platform. It was just kind of off to the side. What you're looking at is Scrooge McDuck level mounds of gold and gems and pretties.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The hammer was set off to the side. It had like, it had like a wall of gold around it, like piles of gold around it. It was obviously set there, and there's like a berth around it. There's like a, it's definitely displayed, possibly as like a centerpiece. Once again, you don't know.
Okay, so it's a good place to start, I would assume. Okay, so yeah, I'll get as close as, well, who's the closest person to it?
Well, Beldan right now, but he's a little ways off. I just said that he noticed it.
Okay. Then I will look for that. This is a perception-based skill, right?
If you're specifically looking for traps, it's investigation.
Okay. Where's my proficiency? Okay. I will get. So it's not like on a pedestal. I'll get reasonably close. I mean, as close as I can. But I don't know. However close I have to be to detect the trap, and then I'll ready a dodge action.
Okay.
I don't know how close you're going to say I have to be, but however close I have to be to reasonably be able to do the investigation. I'll leave that up to you, because there's nothing discerning.
Well, here's the trick. Are you specifically looking at the hammer for if it's got traps around it, or just like the general area? That's what
the area leading up to the hammer. Okay. So, like, yeah, I'm not investigating the hammer itself, but yeah, like the immediate, like, 5 or so feet around it.
Okay.
Essentially.
Okay. Roll me investigation.
Okay. With investigation, but I get to woo. Okay. So that's a 19 plus 3.
Yeah. Fairly thorough job. There are no traps laid around it. Huh. However, you did say you were within a certain range of it, so yeah, I need
5
you to
feet, dodge action release.
I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, well, that's fun and different and exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 3 modifier. Nat 20.
Nice.
Plus 3.
There is.
Please tell me my brain doesn't melt.
No. You upon inspecting the area, you take a second glance at the hammer itself. It's really pretty. There's something about it. You don't even use hammers, but this is the most beautiful weapon that I think you've ever seen. And then you're just, you shake it off and you keep going.
Okay. Would it be fair for me to notice it's a weird thing for me to find? I see garish, gaudy, fancy stuff all the time.
It does strike you as a little weird.
Huh. I don't really know how to convey that, but yeah, that's a strangely pretty hammer. I wouldn't mess with it. I'm gonna tell Beldan. Very pretty hammer. Maybe let's move on.
I mean, it is a room of just strange everything everywhere. It's like I would go into somebody's home and take stuff.
It's the Rakshasa's house, but...
So, like, the hammer does have any markings on it or anything?
Give me an investigation check.
If Beldan tries to get with... I'm going to step back from it a few feet and kind of try to keep Beldan from walking towards it any further than I am.
17.
There are some markings on it. Basically, you can read them. There is a lot of dwarvish runes on it, though. Not basic dwarven script. It's actual magical runes on it.
So it's a possibly...
What was your total on that? Did you say 17?
17, yeah.
Yeah, that's all you see.
Thoughtful chin rub.
Did everyone freeze?
No, we're still.
I think I froze.
No.
Oh my
You
God.
are frozen. There you go.
There you are.
I'm back.
It's got my people's writing on it. I kind of want to check it out.
It's a one-handed hammer.
A one-handed hammer?
Yep.
Oh.
Okay, against his better judgment, Beldan does want to go play with a hammer.
No, what Beldan should do is what Beldan wants to do.
Wisdom saving throw, Beldan.
Nice.
I mean,
that I've got that out the
point, though.
Yeah, I will make
the point. The dragon, we've already passed the dragon, so...
It's a 23.
23.
Yeah.
Very similar. to Vare. You get this weird sensation, Beldan. You give it a once over, and you're just. That's beautiful. I don't know if, and you've seen fine craftsman work when it comes to weaponry, especially hammers. This is the best looking hammer you've ever seen.
But I'm closer now. Would I be able to understand any of the stuff on it?
Being closer doesn't mean that you immediately understand all of the magic runes on it. Some of them you might recognize, but basic script is different than runes and magical runes written for arcane purposes. It is a beautiful hammer. This is obviously a very rare thing.
I find it funny that
And you really feel the urge that you really would like to touch it. But you kind of shake your head shake it for a second. You're like, no, I'm good.
There's like,
Don't
It is a really bad idea, but I will say we have
do it.
we have finished the dragon thing, so I mean, unless the dragon spontaneously pops out of the statue, I will say that.
It's a little too convenient.
You
It
think
just is. It just is.
it's about finding our
Just-
talisman?
Yeah, that's a task. Task talisman. Back on task.
Okay.
Screw it. Belden turns around and grabs a hammer.
Oh god!
Jesus, Beldan!
Hey,
Oh, God,
this is one of those moments, all right? It got better.
Tarook stands there
Look.
and just slightly
What?
cracks a smile,
Yeah.
knowing that it wasn't him this time.
Okay. Beldan, as you grab, it doesn't budge, but there's like a warmth feeling that comes over you at the second that you touch it. Like, this is right. You know what? This feels right. This is mine. This hammer belongs to me.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I don't like this.
Does it move?
And as you try to lift it, it does not budge. And you haven't like put any strength behind it. Just trying to lift it. Normally, it doesn't move.
Okay.
But now you've got your hand on like the pommel, like the handle, and you're just kind of like, this hammer's mine.
It doesn't want to move.
Nope.
It doesn't want to go anywhere.
Nope.
So it's not mine because it doesn't want to go.
I know.
I guess
No.
I'll try to let go of it.
You
Exactly.
cannot let go.
It's like in
of
that.
Nice.
You can't let go of it.
Hey guys.
You
stuck.
cannot. Your hand is on it, and you have this burning desire to like, no, this is mine, and I'm going to pull on it. Make me a strength check.
Oh, okay.
I mean, hopefully he doesn't come after us with the hammer.
I
Never-
know, right?
He's never gonna be able to put this hammer down.
Wonderful.
Hey guys, he's our guy who can cast a spell curse.
Oh, hold on. You said strength, right?
Yes, strength.
Nice.
Although I could try to
Hunter's
speak him.
medallion and that deal I got from the crazy world.
Yeah.
I mean, I can cast a spell curse, but
First one.
I have a little bit of
Excuse
cure
me.
wound, but
First one's a 16.
Don't worry
Ooh.
about it. He's got it.
21.
21.
Yeah.
You start pulling on it, and it does not budge. And
Oh,
you're like,
no.
no, this is mine. This is mine. This was put here for me. And you
Abrazar.
now, with two hands now, you are pulling with everything that you have on it.
Now I'm
You
stuck.
start feeling like the strain of you starting to go past what your muscles do on a
Uh-oh.
daily basis. And you just,
dear.
this is mine. This was put here for me. And now you're starting to say it out loud. And you just keep pulling on it and
Beldan,
pulling on it.
Beldan,
And
it's
it
not
won't-
budging, bro.
it To everyone else, it's not budging. To you, you feel the metal move, like it's starting to give way, like clink, 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 clink. Like you're kind of like just a little more, just a little more.
Just to make sure I can, like, because I mean, I don't know. This could be normal for all I know, but I'll ask the group. Does he do this often?
Never.
No.
Never. This is more like me, so
this
I'm
is
actually
definitely
concerned
Tarook.
here.
I'm very concerned.
Yeah. I'm gonna go up to Beldan, and I'm gonna look at Beldan and say, Beldan, it's not moving. You're talking crazy. Just put it down, bro. It's the dragons. It's not yours.
Make me a wisdom saving throw, Tarook.
Oh crap!
I'm beat at that.
Stop medding.
12
or 13. Yeah, doesn't matter.
You fail. Tarook, you start to want to take Beldan, like, to talk him out of this, and then, you're like, listen, Beldan, you've got it. And then you look at the hammer.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, that's real shiny. You know what?
You're taken by this, and you totally understand why Beldan would want this. This is the most beautiful warhammer that you've seen. And you don't even use one-handed hammers, but this is... No, I have to have this. And you grab the hammer, and you start trying to help him.
I'd like to try something.
Tarook, make me a strength check.
Tarook, high five!
Solution.
What, Tim? Strength check?
Yes, yeah, before... Nobody gets to cut in yet, because you're still going. Strength check first.
All right. High five, Beldan. Yeah. All right. Here we go. So let's do that. That is that's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Well, let's see.
Once again, what you guys see, that hammer is not budging. But now what Beldan and Tarook sees, now working together, it's starting to give way. You can feel as it's starting to move, against the stonework on the ground. You can hear the clinking sound of it. You're like, no, together we can pull this out. We can pull this out.
Beldan, pull!
Keep going, Tarook. Use them big arms.
Oh, I'm gonna rage.
Okay, you rage. Yeah.
We haven't had a Beldan Tarook misadventure in a while, so I feel like this is coming.
This is nice.
God.
This is nice.
I'm so happy, man. You just...
Listen,
okay,
I had the
this
feeling
isn't
I
much
went
for
with it.
either of you at this point, but both of you take, I'm going to say 2 points of
strain
damage.
Because
you are pulling.
Lady V.
Can I tell if they're taking damage?
You can definitely tell now because both of them, he's raging. They are both pulling with all of their might against this hammer.
Okay.
Lady V, I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
If my idea fails, please, by all means, step in.
What you got, Standoff?
How about you take Tarook and I take Beldan?
I can take both.
Okay.
Standoff walks over in front of them. Now, is this an area like where it's jutting out that he can stand and kind of like sit while they're trying to pull from in front of him? Like they're trying to pull something from the ground, right?
Yeah.
So can he go and sit directly in front of them with his legs adjacent to this area? To where
you
this
want to
object
stand
is
in front of
like
them, but a little farther away, so you're out of the range of the curse. Is that what you're looking at?
I'm looking at slightly out of the range of the curse. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. How far away is that?
10 feet.
10 feet. Beautiful. Standoff is going to dig into his pocket and pull out a handful of sand.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to cast Sleep.
Ooh.
On both of them.
Okay.
Level 1.
Oh, this could be good. Although...
What's the DC on your spell?
Has to be their HP.
Yeah, that might do it.
So wait.
Oh, but
yeah.
What's the hit point? Yeah, what's the HP on it?
It has to. He rolls, and then it has to.
How many die can you roll for that? Just you said level 1. How
Actually,
many rolling?
I'm gonna cast this at level 3.
Okay.
So I get an extra 2.
Yeah.
How many die is this though? Just out of curiosity.
Curiosity is
That would
going to
be-
be 6 d8.
78.
That could do it.
78.
Could
Sorry.
be 98, no? If you're casting at 3rd level, you get 2 d8 for every slot above
Plus
first.
2. So I get +1 each level. If maybe I'm working off.
No,
D3.
Corallos is right. So it'd
D9?
be- yeah.
Yeah, 98,
Alright.
yeah.
D8 plus.
So
It's
it's
a total
two,
of 98.
Yeah.
98. Okay.
What? The red one? Check the couch, baby. Turn on Alexa and look. It'll pop up. It's on the couch.
All right. So I have 8, 4, 7, 6, 7. There's 4 of them.
Are you splitting it up between the two of them?
No, it's only one person so far.
Okay, so that's 32 so far, right?
Yep. 7, 4, 6, 8, 3.
What'd you get?
That's 60.
Who was that? For me or Tarook?
Yeah, which one?
The first one is for you.
Yeah, you don't get me, bud.
Oh no.
Oh, that's only 8. I got one more.
Oh, go ahead.
Go for it.
Because
So no.
yeah, even with that one, I'm just gonna say no. You don't get me.
Oh no. Oh, I guess Beldan. I guess I get to take a crack at Beldan. So here's the thing.
Tarook and Beldan, you take another 9 points of straining
Yeah.
damage.
I will say, you don't have to, if you want, if we can get Beldan, I'm pretty sure he can fix Tarook, so before you waste another powerful spell, maybe I should try Beldan.
Get him.
That might be
I
a good idea.
literally I thought that if I would have thrown everything at Belden, that
Yeah.
it would have done something. But
Well, we can try him again if I don't work, but we might want to save your... I don't even think what I'm going to do is going to work, but it's worth a shot, and it doesn't really cost much, hopefully. So we'll see if it even helps, but it's going to be a Tim's...
better than what I had, and I already wasted
Mm-hmm.
one of my 2
Okay.
level skills.
So Vara's going to...
Torrin and Corallos, roll me investigation checks while we're doing this.
I want to give Standoff a very, honestly grateful look, like he tried. And I'm going to attempt something that's going to be completely your discretion, but I'm going to go...
Uh-huh.
I'm already by them because they walked up behind me. I'm going to go to Beldan.
Mm-hmm.
What is your armor, Beldan? Are you wearing a helmet? Are you...
Yeah, it's chain, helmet, chain. I don't have nothing covering the face. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go... So while Beldan's concentrating on the hammer, right? I don't really want to take his attention away from it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna walk up behind him.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to put my arms around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And just sort of give you a really soft hug. And sort of try to be as comforting as I can. Sort of put my hands on your shoulders and squeeze. And I'm going to kind of just whisper in your ear, "You're doing great. You're doing great. Your strength is honorable. And we all look to you for help and comfort." And I'm going to kiss him and attempt to cast Cure, remove curse.
Mm-hmm.
Down a little prayer to Arani and just be like, oh
Yeah.
dear God, I can't believe I'm asking you for this.
Okay.
And then do that.
What, for you, because I don't have it up right now, which ability is it for you when you cast for this?
So that's the healing ability,
Your
but
healing ability.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the healing ability, and it would just be remove curse.
Yeah, okay. I'm saying, what stat do you use this? Because this is going to be interesting. How I'm going to do this. So what's
So I think it's just so if you want it off of a particular stat,
Yes.
then I suppose it would be persuasion, or
Okay. I'll give that to you.
it would either be persuasion because I'm in a spellcasting class, so like I can't really cast spells, so I
Yeah.
can either make it a key thing or it could just be a persuasion check.
I'm going to make it. This is basically a magical persuasion check because we're using your ability against the strength of this curse.
Okay.
Hey, Tim V, sorry to interrupt. Shouldn't have sleep hit both of us?
He had to do it on one person,
Oh.
and it had to
And
be
even
against
then
their
it
hit
wouldn't
points.
have-
And if the hit points wasn't going to drop Beldan, it's not going to drop you.
Not dropping to you, buddy.
Well, if the whole
No,
thing is,
no.
It would
if
have.
it hits a group, then it hits the lowest HP first.
Yeah, so 61, that's
Which-
my exact HP is 61.
Which I thought that Torrin or Beldan, Beldan should have been the lowest HP.
That's what I was
But
assuming.
I was wrong. It was Torrin.
Okay, it was Tarook.
Well, it might
Okay.
actually drop Tarook. Oh no, did he freeze?
Okay, then that would it would take the lower HP. Then it would take hold on Tarook.
Tarook randomly just drops.
Just blip.
Okay.
No,
I'm-
I don't want to cheat anybody out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hit
I got
61.
you.
Belden would still be cursed though, so that's again.
Beldan, I'll get to you in a second.
That was
V.
the original plan.
Okay, yeah. So how this is going to play out is the sleep spell will take effect on Tarook, and Tarook, you even with the strength of the curse, you find yourself unconscious asleep.
All right.
Woo! Delayed reaction, but it worked out in the end.
Now,
Standoff over there going like, I gave all I had. I don't know why it didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work.
He aimed
And then
for
he
Belden
just
and
go down.
Tarook.
He's like,
there. Give me
I'm
a
a god. I know how to put people asleep.
Give me a D20 plus your persuasion.
Okay.
Corallos and Torrin, what did you get on those investigation checks?
23.
14. Jesus. 14.
Corallos, you notice that the hammer, now that you've taken a decent look at it, there's a flat piece of metal that is underneath the hammer. There's something wedged underneath the hammer in between the hammer and the stone.
I got a 16 plus 5.
21. Beldan, you no longer feel the effects of the curse. And you find yourself kind of just looking at your hands and then just looking back at V.
I'm
Like, you're not a well-built elf lady.
No, I'm
Yeah, you kind of like you still got your hands on the hammer, and then you look at V and you kind of let go of it, and you're like, "What was that?"
I need a con save from Belden.
Ooh.
Lesser
you
of
do.
two evils, dude.
Yeah, you do.
Lesser of two.
What
evils.
is it a con save for? And that's important.
Poison.
All right, I have advantage on that. That's why I needed to know.
That'd be
Very
that's
nice.
so great. You don't have to beat a very high DC. You're sturdy.
Oh, my first one's an 18. Oh, plus the 1, 19. Hey, and that's an 18. So 19.
You're golden.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
You feel like something kind of. What was that? And then your body kind of fights it off.
Just a cold. Screw you, cold.
And now you step away, and with the unconscious Tarook on the floor, you kind of like, what was it about this hammer?
Oh. Always the good parts, man.
It's always the best
WTF.
parts.
Vare awkwardly kind of shuffles away, and you get the feeling that like you've never seen Vare be awkward about.
It's okay, Bear.
Personal
We can still be
experience.
friends. It's cool.
Sorry.
It's okay. My arms hurt and Tarook's on the floor. What the hell happened?
Well, you went and grabbed the very pretty hammer and, well, I guess you haven't seen enough finery in your life to be able to resist.
It was just a really nice. It was
very dry and flat. Well, what are we gonna do about him?
He's unconscious on the floor.
I need a bowl of warm water.
Just kidding. Our emperor.
None we had in the dungeon, believe it or not.
Yeah, I know. No, we weren't. No, that wasn't gonna happen for real. I mean, how do we wake him up?
Standoff.
We would just kick him, don't we?
Can I cast Mage Hand, smack Tarook in the face?
Yes, that works
All right,
in the past.
Tarook, you find yourself very abruptly woken, and you see this arcane spectral hand.
And Vare standing right above him because I was next to Beldan.
Yeah, you see V like right above you, and a spectral hand that apparently just very abruptly woke you up.
No, the hand is now pointing at V like she did it.
Standoff is standing literally within feet of you going, I'm so sorry. But you did it to yourself. It wasn't me. It was that guy.
Alright.
He points to Torrin.
I have no idea what's going on.
Let me fill you in.
Beldan.
You fell asleep. You did some stupid stuff.
Well,
we put you to sleep. You woke up again. You did more stupid stuff. Something that you wouldn't be. I mean, come on. You know.
It was like a normal Friday for us.
Tarook. We know you.
That's what he's saying.
I mean, it sounds like me.
It does. But you know what? It wasn't your fault this time.
Must be.
It was the dwarf guy, the little guy. Look at him.
Oh, it was the little guy.
The little guy.
Beldan, tiny turn, my friend.
He looks suspicious.
So
he's over there looking at you with a big.
Can anyone describe?
Big fat face with a big grin.
No.
He's against you.
I guess just plain old. Are the amulets magic? They're not magic, are they? They're just amulets.
And by the way,
you found one in the first, the bone pit by using detect magic.
I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's see if that'll work this time around.
Tarook, pick me up.
Alright, no problem. And I go under, and I scoop, and I lift. Ooh. Is that your tail? Are you excited to be on my shoulders?
Both. Can I use detect magic?
You do. There's a lot of magical items in here, but the one that really kind of, because you were really intensely staring at it a moment ago, you get a magical presence about the size of one of those talismans. It's directly under the magical hammer.
The hammer.
Oh no.
Now, is it just hammer and you said there's a plate underneath of it? Or a rod?
Which you saw. No, it was the actual talisman, the metal from the talisman. In other words, the hammer is on top of the talisman and it's wedged up against the floor.
Gosh darn it.
So.
Okay, and we can't move the hammer. And if you go near the hammer, you think you're moving it, but you're not. So.
And then.
Or you didn't
actually move it.
No.
Can you mage hand the
I was
plate,
thinking the
not
same
the hammer?
thing.
I will try, yeah.
Worth a try.
Is the hammer itself a magical item? Just
yes.
Yeah.
Very strong magical presence.
I rolled a deuce the hammer. I want to break the curse on the hammer. Alright, let's mage hand this thing, see if you can get the talisman. I was kidding, that was a joke.
No, I just thought it was funny.
I'm a monk, not a bard. Not this time around.
I can't read the runes on the hammer, can I?
You read, can you read, Dwarvish?
No.
And you can't.
What was that? Can someone read
But-
Dwarven?
Yeah.
I can read Dwarven.
I can
Yeah,
read
you
Dwarven.
can
still
read Dwarven, but that's what I'm telling you guys. Just because you can read a written language does not mean that you can read runes in that language. That's too complete. That's like the same as saying I can speak common, therefore thieves can't make sense to me. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying now.
And
It's
we all have
Standoff can.
read any written language.
well, what you see as far as what's on the hammer is you definitely get that it's some type of divine magic energy. Just some type, they're divine runes that are based around that hammer.
Do you want me to roll something?
I think at this
As far
point
as-
it's an intelligence check.
Intelligence check?
Yeah, for whoever wants it.
I got you.
I mean, maybe it'll tell us something about it. The mage hand didn't work, or did we not try that?
Yeah.
What were you
I'll
trying to
try
do
to-
with the mage hand? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Grab the talisman instead of the hammer, maybe?
Alright, so intelligence check is my roll plus my intelligence buff,
Yeah.
which is a 19 plus 8, so it's a 27.
Jesus.
Good
27.
lord.
You've seen cursed items before, and
Yeah.
there's a obviously removing the curse is the easiest way. If you there's also this thing of similar to what V did when she fixed Beldan, when you can oppose magic against that curse.
Oh, okay.
There's another option, and it kind of goes with how much that you've been kind of studying Metagast all this time.
Yes.
You wonder if a person or being is already cursed,
Oh.
Can't be affected by another one?
can or cannot be affected depending on the strength of the magic that's already on them.
Maybe.
Am I able to identify the actual curse?
On the hammer?
On the hammer, yes.
From what you identify, it is obviously some type of... It's an incantation of greed. And you wonder if there may or may not be other things in this vault with similar incantations on them, meant to keep you here.
Smart.
This was the first place that you guys went to, but you kind of putting one and one together. If you maybe start taking a look around the vault a little more, you get the feeling that there may be some type of curse over a lot of the powerful magic items in this room. Similar to this. Cursed for you to want more of it.
So
Or
with this
to
item,
fixate on a certain object.
okay, with this certain item that we have just pulled, this hammer, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it now?
The hammer?
Yes.
Exactly where you left it. It's right there.
Nobody was able to move
In the
it.
ground. It has not budged, and you know that one of the talismans is impacted under it.
So,
Okay.
yeah, do you relay any of that about Metagast?
What was that?
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Did you? What you just found out in that intelligence roll? Do you relay any of that to everybody?
Yes. Standoff kind of goes back and says, "Listen, this is a bad omen. Like this is not good. If you want this, go ahead. It will be your death. I'm not going to help you. This is cursed. If you want to be cursed, by all means."
When he says cursed, yeah, I'll kind of look at Metagast and just be like, I don't think you can be double damned. sir.
Madagas kind of shrugs. He goes, I can give it a try.
Give it a whirl, Metagast.
Kind of hold out my hand and kind of
Double damned.
Chink, chink, chink. He gets within. He doesn't touch it. He just gets up right up on it, and he puts his hand on it.
Anything? Torrin says from a safe distance.
if the skeleton can lift it and
Anything?
we'll never let him live it down.
We're about to go in and
won't.
see if double jeopardy is true.
You see as it is visible. There's like Beldan and Tarook. You guys felt this the second that you felt the compulsion to grab the hammer. You can't read Metagast's face, but there's almost like there's a fixation on the hammer for a moment, and you feel it give way, as if something stronger is overpowering it. And
Does
I need
Standoff see this?
Beldan and Tarook to give me a perception check.
Here's my nat 20 for the night.
Nice.
17.
Okay.
17.
Beldan, you're the only one who notices this. You hear a very disturbing cackling laughter as you see the magic on the hammer break. And it blows every last one of you back like 5 to 10 feet.
Oh.
And you all have to kind of catch yourselves. And you see, with one arm, Metagast lifts the hammer.
So
wait,
he
the
basically
cackling
just
magic-
visioned us.
Wait,
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
cackling magic was
No,
that,
no, he
like,
didn't envision
Madagas's
us.
curse, like
He's worthy.
cackling, or was that like
That-
Beldan,
from
you
the hammer?
heard a woman's cackling laughter as you saw the curse around the hammer break.
Okay.
Does anyone know what the hell that was?
And you're the only one that heard the laughter, Beldan.
Okay.
No.
So
He's stronger than he looks.
I stand up
And
and I
when he
walk
moves
over to
the hammer,
Metacast.
you see the talisman in the indentation.
I kind of sidle
ground.
over to Lady V and I let her know what I heard.
And
Torrin
The
grabs
minute
the
that-
medallion.
the second that this happens and there's a big burst, there's no cackling heard by Standoff, but he sees that Metagast literally pulls something out himself and explodes back over his head, while other people could not do that. The first instinct he has is to look at Corallos and says, please, do your bidding. Figure this out. What's going on?
I'm gonna run up and give Metagast a hug.
He kind
Corallos,
of
please identify what's going on.
And he kind of is like, it's an awkward for him. He kind of does a pat on your back, and he's kind of, that was weird.
Indeed.
Well done, my
Yes,
friend.
I'm
Very well
gonna-
done.
Metagast kind of looks at the hammer and hands it to Beldan. And he goes, I think you wanted this?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's not doing the creepy cack. Oh,
Just for the hell of it.
all right. Yeah,
Insight
yeah.
Metagast.
All right, sure.
What'd you say, Vare?
My insight Metagast, just to see if I know he's a hard
Oh,
read and it's kind of
No.
Yeah, go ahead and do an insight.
Well, I saw that break, so I'll take it from him at that point.
Okay.
Corallos.
that's an 18 flat.
18 flat. Seems fairly surprised by what happened.
Oh shoot! I'm so sorry.
Uh-huh.
I have a +6 to insight.
Oh, 24.
No, it's high.
Seems
Sorry.
seems very surprised about what happened, very much like he didn't expect it.
Okay. It's kind of what I'm looking for. Like, is he bullshitting us? Does he have some secret power? He's not.
Does not appear to be, no.
Okay.
Super skeleton.
Yeah, like, does he have something? Has he been lying to us this whole time about being a poor, wafy skeleton? And does he really have, like, untold power?
You don't get the feeling that this was like a Thor's worthy kind of situation, if that's what you're thinking. No.
No, more of like this demonic skeleton crawled way out of hell has been manipulating us kind of thing.
No.
He's just
Not the changeling.
Yeah, he's not the doppelganger.
You feel like maybe something clicked for him that this happened, but it was a surprise to him.
Okay.
He looks as surprised as a skeleton can be. He looks surprised.
Gotcha.
I look over at Tarook with a shade-eating grin, holding the talisman. So apparently the skeleton's stronger than you, big dude.
Hey! The skeleton.
I just completely ignore what Torrin says while I'm just staring down Metagas. I'm just staring him down.
I peck Metagas on the cheek. The bone.
If a skeleton could blush, it would.
Well done, Metagast. Very well done.
Let's
now
get
the hell out of here.
I think that's where we're gonna leave off tonight.
All right.
Oh, Metagast, you
Oh
butt
no,
slap.
no.
Oh,
no,
man.
No. You're killing me. You're
No.
killing me. I want to kill things, and you're telling me like, oh, hey, look.
Hey,
here's
you
some
guys
things.
chose
I'm
the
like,
doors,
hey,
man.
Hey, no, I like
We
it.
knocked off 2 in one night, okay? Let's call it good.
Yeah, I'm chalking this up as a
This
win.
is a win-win.
So,
Did the bone pick?
always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. As always, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, and tap that little bell on your YouTube app so you never miss an upload. Also, we are now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so please check us out.
Apple!
And also buy your Curbside Podcast t-shirts at ProWrestlingTees.com at the J. Kirby storefront. Yes,
So we can
that's
make
right.
the chicken tour
Curbside
prototype.
merch. So, thank you,
Curbside
everyone.
merch, baby. Get it or you're lost.
That guy, he gets it. Thank you, everyone, for watching,
know.
and we will see you next week.